Okay, whatever, let's go. You ready? 6-2?
You've been ready. Isik, yeah.
Alright, guys, welcome to the third, I think this is a third, GOAT Boomer tournament here. Today we have a couple of very nice GOAT rounds for you. What did you think about the tournament when we played it?
Honestly, I played a different tournament, I think, because I past round 4, I did not realize what was going on. I wasn't doing too hot at this tournament this time.
Yeah.
So most of whatever happens in the later rounds is a complete surprise to me. I don't even know which decks will be played.
Yeah. We just saw some people playing top cut, but other than that, we weren't involved in that too much. I think I also played a different tournament, man. I opened brick after brick after brick after brick after the last time when I opened graceful and pot every game. But that's that. But
Yeah.
I think we're gonna jump straight
Let's
into
start off with game number 1.
let's jump straight into round number 1. All right, on the top here,
And I think
this is me on the bottom. I think I played the first match.
I
Or is this the wrong
think
game?
if I remember correctly, you were playing.
No, this should be the first one, right?
I hope so. I don't know.
I think. Hell no, this isn't me.
No, that's not you. That's not you. That's not you.
That's the wrong one. I played in the first one, so then this has to be the first one. Yeah, this is
Yeah, this is the first one.
the first one, yeah. Yes.
Okay, let's get. So, what is this game? I know you're probably again on the Chaos Turbo deck.
Yo, I'm always on Chaos Turbo, you know me. We're sitting
So,
okay.
what was your opponent playing?
So, my opponent was playing this very interesting list he came up with himself, which is just this Phoenix list that somehow makes
That's the Phoenix Turbo list. Yeah.
that is the Phoenix Turbo list, and he plays this double claw attack or whatever the card is called, and your cam died.
Yeah, I realized that too. It should be back in just a minute.
Alright, so he was playing this very interesting Phoenix deck. I have no idea how this Phoenix deck worked, like how it was supposed to work. He said I was his easiest opponent. He said this deck worked the best against Chaos Turbo for whatever reason. I still won. I think I still won 2-0. But yeah, he completely destroyed me. Yeah, he sends the clown to special summon another clown. After the tournament, he said that this clown isn't very good. Like, he would change it out for something else, for something that is maybe a bit more consistent. He said this was the only time the whole tournament he summoned this clown.
It is because I love Pedden. Pedden is like very good childhood memories for me.
Yeah. And here we have very glared card number 1. No, this is a Gearfried. Oh yeah, also he played.
I can't really. Is this a Gearfried?
This is a Gearfried, yes. Here is a Gearfried. This Gearfried completely destroyed me. Yeah, like mentally. Because I didn't know what the Gearfried was for until he showed me. Because you can chain. You're gonna see it in the game anyway. I'll tell you guys many times. So here I'm searching 2 Thunder Dragons. Very basic combo. I think I also had a Graceful here. Yeah. No, I didn't. Oh, as you can see, hand completely filled with monsters. This was my whole tournament. Every single game, I literally only drew monsters. Oh yeah, here this is
Okay, so
this is the Chain Explosion, which once it is destroyed.
Yeah, that's the Chain Explosion.
Yeah, once it is destroyed, when equipped, it targets one card.
Another card.
Yeah, it targets one card on the field.
And that's why the Gearfried is good, because the Gearfried will immediately pop it as soon as you equip it to the Gearfried.
Yes, exactly. So you kind of have a free Raigeki break. I guess. Yeah, here he completely destroyed me. Um,
Oh, cross out.
Cross out on the Dekoichi, so I had to dump all of my Dekoichis out. And I think I played 3 Dekoichis. I'm still playing 2 in this list. Yeah, I'm still playing 2. So I kind of got
I
wrecked.
would say not a very glary card, but I suppose this is Breaker because there's a token on it.
Yes, this is Breaker. Yeah, the
And
sunlight
now
really
he
was.
is punching for a lot of damage.
Yeah, and I also did the reverse. I did plus instead of minus with the life points. You can see the life points don't work as well as they should. But yeah, this is like the worst position I was in this match. But I think I still won somehow. Don't ask me how I won this
Yeah,
match.
that's I mean that's the thing about chaos. Like sometimes just one good top deck and your whole hand suddenly becomes insane.
Yeah, like one graceful here would win me the game straight
Yeah,
up.
one graceful here and the game is over. Yeah, that's the thing about the chaos turbo deck.
Or maybe I
You
scooped
can
game
just
1. I think I scooped. I think I scooped straight up here. I don't think that is even a joke. I think I pick up my cards. Do I? I don't remember. This was like
I mean, you cannot really set anything here.
this whole tournament was a fever dream. I swear to God, because I played like an absolute dog. No, yeah, look, I just picked up my cards. I straight up picked up my cards after 2 turns. It was. I remember talking to him like, "Yo, this deck is nuts. What the fuck?" But I did not. Oh, here I had like the craziest go turn of my life. This was great. I opened like upstart into delinquent into pot or something. Oh no, this was another game then. But yeah, Thunder Dragon again. Your Thunder Dragon is stuck in my hand every game.
Yeah, but as long as it's just one, it's good.
Yeah, as long as it's 1, it's fine. Like that is what you want. Like you don't want 2 Thunder Dragons in your hand ever.
Nah, you would never want to have 2 Thunder Dragons. But I'm a master about that. Like Thunder Dragon and Spiders are like 2 cards that come in doubles when I play the deck.
Yo, for me it is Desires and Prosperity. When I was playing Cash. Every Cash game, if I drew Desires, I also had Prosperity in hand. Every time. Yeah, here I got Delinquent. I win this game, by the way. I get Delinquent and I still win this game.
Yeah, I mean, with 2 Thunder Dragons in hand, yeah, he hit a Thunder Dragon, so what's
And
Delinquent gonna do?
Yeah, and I
And the
discarded.
Sinister Serpent, so
Yeah,
this
so
Delinquent
this-
didn't do anything, like...
Yeah, this Delinquent wasn't even that good. Would you even Delinquent if you know your opponent has 2 Thunder Dragons in hand?
I probably wouldn't,
I also.
especially because there's not really a reason to Delinquent here. I mean, the only thing that you can argue is that your opponent cannot Raigeki break that easily if you activate Delinquent. So if you think about it, the set card could be a Raigeki break, so I Delinquent. My opponent loses his Thunder Dragons as easy discards. Now he has to discard something good.
Yeah. Okay, here's
But it's just the judgment.
the judgment on the warrior. What is this guy called?
Marauding Captain.
Marauding Captain. That is
So
the
this
English name.
is in the deck. He told me this is in the deck because you can go normal summon Marauding Captain, summon Hand of Nephthys, and then tribute both of them to get out the big Secret Phoenix.
Oh, okay. So do you think the judgment here was good? I didn't know that, but I just saw the
Yeah,
captain,
I
but I was like,
think
I
so.
don't know. This judgment is kind of rough.
I think so because the whole point of this deck is to get the Phoenix out, and if he cannot get the Phoenix out, is pretty good. But they always see a Scapegoat, which is also a card he uses because of the Hand of Nephthys, because you can tribute the Scapegoat tokens
I don't think you can
as the
tribute
second
scapegoat.
monster to summon out the Phoenix.
I don't think you can do that.
Yeah, you just cannot tribute them for a tribute summon. Yeah, you can only not tribute them for a tribute summon. That's the reason why you can metamorph them.
Oh, okay. Okay. I think here You kind of, yeah, I don't like this. I don't like the snatch steal on the spy. I don't think this play was good
Yeah.
because you
But I
trade.
mean, it outs the board, but he trades so much to out this board here, which is just two spies, which is not the most scary board.
Nah, man, I would leave
Especially
the spies.
because you know there still is Black Luster and two Chaos Sork in his deck, and he is using a snatch deal on a spy, so that's never a good idea against Chaos.
So here is the card I was talking about. This double, what is it called? Double cross something.
Yeah, or something.
Two attack, two claw attack. So basically, what it does is you destroy two monsters, and then you can destroy one card from your opponent. So you destroy two monsters you control, and then you can target one card your opponent controls and destroy it. And this is good because the scapegoat tokens are. You can use the scapegoat tokens as free fodder, as well as destroying your own Nephthys. So once the Nephthys comes back, it will destroy all spells and traps, and Nephthys says if it is destroyed in any way, shape, or form, it just comes back to the field in the next standby phase, I think. So once it comes back in the next standby phase, you can very easily... So you can pop it on your own. You don't even need your opponent to pop it. So you are chilling with that. So the idea is pretty good, but he still lost. So here comes the play of the game. This is the tribe infecting virus. This tribe infecting virus was putting in so much work this game. I think I activated it like 4 times. I'm not even joking. Either it's this game or the next game where I activated it 4 times, and I always wiped his board completely. Oh, you managed to fix your cam.
By the way, the face cam is back. Yeah, I got out my crappy webcam because my phone just has some problems. But at least my face cam's back.
Yeah, your microphone is also your webcam now, so you need to change that.
Oh, really?
Yes. You know when you're on a company call and someone doesn't know IT and they like talk through their laptop microphone the whole meeting?
Yeah. I said fixed now.
Yeah, it's fixed. But that was you right now.
Okay. Yeah,
That was unbearable.
yeah, that was me. But I didn't realize that Discord would change my mic if I just changed the webcam.
Discord likes to
Sometimes Discord does.
Yeah,
It does do crazy stuff.
Yeah, Discord likes to change the audio source to the video source if they are called the same for whatever reason.
But coming back to this game, what I really want to ask you is, what do you think of the Phoenix in general? Like, do you think it is a good card?
Hell no.
I also don't think. I think on paper the card sounds insane because like the whole idea of this deck is to cycle it over and over again. And if you get to do that, that is insane. But it is so like it gets hit by so much stuff in the format.
Well, it's just that Chaos is the
Like
most...
you summon it. Yeah. First of all the Chaos monster destroyed, but then like you summon it and then your opponent just wing blasts it on top of your deck. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, you can't do anything. And also, like, Chaos is the most popular deck. So, and Chaos banishes. So Chaos banishes.
Yeah.
You can say, yeah, okay, but I can destroy it on my own with the double claw attack, and then destroys Chaos monsters in response. But you're not gonna have double claw attack every game. Together with the Phoenix.
Yeah.
That is just not feasible. And the guy also has like 2 Chaos Sorks and 1 Black Cluster Soldier, which is a lot. This is not like it's not that cut and dry. That matchup is that. So the matchup.
Also, if you go against like not just Chaos Turbo, but like think about Goat Control. They just steal your Nephthys with the 1000 Eyes once, and your whole deck doesn't work anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, true. Yeah. So there's a lot of non-destruction removal in Gold. What I realized is almost everything targets, but not everything destroys. Like destroying is pretty common, but not that common. But everything targets in Gold. So if you want
Yeah.
any type of removal, everything targets. There's like a couple of cards that don't, but 90% of the stuff just targets straight up. And here's also the Chaos Sorcerer and the BLS with
There's Chaos Sorcerer and BLS.
yeah. Also, you know what's set here?
That's the Gearfried, right?
Yeah, this is game.
Oh, but you mean your back row? The back row?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is probably game. Yeah.
You see?
It's just scapegoat for judgment. You're such a. That's the thing about Chaos Turbo. Like, you have so much tempo, you have so much stuff they need to deal with that sometimes you can just wait with plays like that until you see a judgment that have a judgment set. And then you just go to Chaos Monster and win the game, because what are they gonna do? You have a judgment.
Yeah, exactly. So Chaos Chaos is not about it's not as much about pumping out your Chaos monsters as fast as possible. It is about knowing when to pump out your Chaos monsters as fast as possible. So you want to out preferably all of his back row before you summon any Chaos monster. So you have a clean board once you summon a Chaos monster. And or you have like some kind of backup. So you keep your heavy storms, your MSTs, your breakers in your hand until you have a Chaos Sorcerer, and then you go a breaker, destroy your back row, Chaos Sorcerer, banish your monster, and then he has a Chaos Sorcerer as well as a breaker to deal with, for example. So you wanna establish a board state where it is very safe for you to summon any Chaos monster. Otherwise, they will get, because your opponent knows this and will do the same thing. They will always keep their removal if they are smart. They will keep their removal for your Chaos monsters, for your Chaos Sorcerer, for your.
I mean, that is
Black
true,
Luster
but the
Soldier.
problem is the reason why this deck is so good is because against any other deck that isn't itself, it just wins the grind game. So if you allow Chaos early game to just stall a little bit and just to get card advantage, the second they start dropping their Chaos monster, they're like 3 or 4 cards ahead of you.
Yo, look at this. I already expected the Delinquent Duel, so I put down all of my cards. So I was just waiting for the Delinquent. And then he sets 5 and passes. Look at this play. So I was like, where's the Delinquent, man? Where's the Delinquent? No Delinquent? Oh. Unlucky.
5 back row.
Yeah, 5 back row. And you
That's 5 back row. It doesn't even matter which format I'm playing. If I see 5 back row, like, something inside of me just gets scared.
yeah. I mean, every format, you see 5 back row, you kind of just want to scoop if you don't have a heavy storm. But
Yeah.
I win this game because you know what? I saw Pot of a Jar of Greed, so I know that like at least 1 to 2 of these are Jar of Greed. I know one is like Scapegoat.
Yeah.
I'm pretty
You have
confident
like
in
the
that.
claw attack and the 2 prawn attack that all need like monsters on his side of the field.
Yeah. So I pretty
It's probably gonna be a scapegoat now in end phase.
yeah. So I just assumed that most of these cards aren't that scary. Like there could be 1 Mirror Force, 1 Torrential, or like 1 Mirror Force or 1 Torrential, either of the two, or an MST. But yeah, like set 5 passes in Goat is usually isn't that scary because the deck that sets 5 and passes usually plays Jar of Greed or Scapegoat or something, so it's not the biggest deal in the world. But here, yeah,
No, not the biggest deal.
so
in the world.
exactly how
Now we see 2 prawn attack.
yeah, so 2 prawn attack. So exactly how I said, most of these cards aren't that scary. I think here's a pot, yeah.
Yeah. Look at this. This is
Yeah,
5
second
back row, and he traded 2 of them to out your set monster.
Yeah, one
Which,
and a half.
if that would have been a Sengan, it's like game over.
Yeah, it was 1.5. Could say.
Yeah.
With the scapegoat
Now see, I
tokens.
mean, he replaced his whole hand, but still, like, those are 5 cards.
Yeah, and here we see, I think this is for the first time, the Nephthys. Yeah, this is the level 3 Nephthys, which says tribute itself as well as 1 other monster,
And
to special summon 1 big Nephthys from the deck. I don't know the big Nephthys name.
this is the Sacred Phoenix of Nephthys that is coming
Yes.
down on the field for the
There's-
very first time. So this card, whenever it is destroyed, it summons himself back in I think your next standby phase.
In the next
And if he
standby.
does so, in the next standby, okay. And then if he does so, he just wipes the whole back row.
Yes, he just wiped. So he destroys the back row. That is important.
Yeah, which is against like Chaos Turbo also not that good
Nah.
because in my list I think I play like 6 traps. And 2 of those are Jar of Greed, so I don't really care about Nephthys.
Yeah, that isn't that big of a deal. I think here we had a judge call, straight up. Straight up, because here what happened is, first off, I touched the cam, and second off, Ring of Destruction, I read it, and it said, I don't know, I just wanted to book it, but, so I wanted to book the Nephthys, because I wanted to, the Nephthys here goes to grave, it triggers the next standby and comes back, right? Because of the Ring of Destruction. But my,
Yeah, but if you book it, if you book it, the ring just wipes. The ring doesn't do anything. It just loses its target.
it actually does not, because of the old rules. Because it got an errata at some point. And in the old rules, it just says,
Yeah, no, it does. It does. It does.
it does not.
If you ring a Blackluster Soldier and you book it, it also stays on field. That's the main reason why you play Book of Moon in Chaos. It's for Snatch, Steal, and Ring to not destroy your Chaos monster.
I don't know, we had this
I'm
super long
pretty
discussion
sure
about...
on that. I'm pretty sure on that, but I'm gonna look it up right now.
So here we just read it just to like know what it actually was, but we still, I don't think we knew exactly if we were right. I mean, it didn't matter for the outcome of the game. Because I still played around it for somehow, I don't remember how, but I played pretty well. Yeah, as you can see, I had 2 Chaos Sorcerers in hand. And I wanted to book the Nephthys, then attack into it with Breaker to flip it face up, and then summon Chaos Sorcerer to banish it. That was my idea.
Yeah, but I mean, like he has made his big play, and now if this ring resolves, he's like 3 cards against 5, and it's Chaos you that has 2 cards more than you in hand. So this is not looking good for the Sacred player here.
Well, if he can like work with his resources well enough, then it can work out, because the Nephthys is such a big problem and it comes back all the time, so it's not very easy to deal with that card. But yeah, just take the L, I guess. And I think in this game the trap infecting actually was big MVP. So just trap infecting. I trap infected his board like twice or 3 times with 3 monsters. Yeah. Yeah, just legit, I just summoned. Oh yeah, just normal summoned. I legit forgot. Are you still looking up the ruling?
Yeah, I am still looking up the ruling. Because I want to know, because I'm pretty sure I'm right.
I don't know. Targeting is the cost, and once you target it,
Your targeting is for sure the cost.
yeah, once you target it, it doesn't matter if you flip it face down, because you already targeted.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. No, it doesn't, because it is not the same monster anymore on the field if it's booked. So it's not the monster you targeted after it is booked. It's a different monster.
It's a different monster.
Yeah, it is a different monster. That's the reason why you can book your Flunderies monster if they try to imperm it. Because suddenly it's not the same monster that was targeted.
Maybe it was different in Gold.
Yeah, if you chain Book of Moon to Magic Cylinder, Ring of Destruction, or Trap Hole to flip the target of any of those cards face down, the effects disappear.
Well, then we made a mistake.
So if you book it, the ring doesn't resolve.
Okay, so I was right. Because I think in that moment I was like,
Yeah, you was.
I
you were
don't
100%
think
right.
that's how it works, but like, okay, let's just go with it. So my intuition was right. But here, like looking down at this board, you would think, yeah, man, this Chaos player for sure loses, right? Like no way he can win. But then I made this insane play of normal summoning, tribe infecting, calling out warrior, and attacking into the Nephthys here. And he was like, huh? Why do you attack? So it flips face up, I summon Chaos Sorcerer and I banish it. Because it has the same defense.
That is wow. that is insane. That was a good play. That was definitely a good play.
I wanted to do that last turn, but he chained the Ring of Destruction. So I couldn't do it. But yeah. That was a really smart play. So I wanted to play around So also the Delinquent Duo here, he has 2 set cards. Look at my
the Delinquent Duo. Now he is in a bit of a problem with. I mean, if one of those is a scapegoat, there is still a chance. Yeah, there is one scapegoat. So this will buy him at least another turn.
Yeah, I think I activate Tribe here.
We chain, and there goes the Chaos Sorc. Yeah, but still, he has the problem of he needs to top deck something.
Let's just summon the second Chaos Sorcerer.
There is the second Chaos Sorcerer.
Vanish his last card, and now
Which honestly wasn't the smart, which wasn't the smartest play, but sure.
I was still like thinking, if this guy plays Relinquish in this deck, yeah, I do not want to leave any Scapegoats tokens. Because I did not know if he played Relinquish or not. Because it wouldn't make sense with the Scapegoat tokens to play
true.
Metamorph.
Yeah. That's the thing. You can never make 100% correct plays if you don't know what your opponent is playing.
Yeah, that was my case.
That
was it in my case. So I did not know if it did anything, if like...
Now we start with the patterns. Did you banish the pattern? I am curious if you go attack or if you just banish it.
What do you think?
Yeah, you banish it. That's good. That's good. That leaves one very bad draw in his deck. If he top decks pattern right now, it's just like very sad. Now there's a back row.
What else will happen? Let's see. Yeah, here I'm playing around Mirror Force.
We are afraid of the Mirror Force.
Yeah, nice CBA,
pretty good. We have the tempo here. We don't need to go for big damage. We probably win this game either way.
Yeah, I have a lot of card advantage, so there's no way he's winning this game. I'm up like 4 cards. So realistically, he can't win this game. His Nephthys is banished, so I wasn't in any danger. So the only way I could lose is to...
Not really. There are not many cards that lose you the game like in an instant.
Yes.
Like I said, if you grind it out, Chaos always wins.
Yeah, so here
and there's someone killed the light.
Yeah, I don't know. I think someone ripped something out, like a light or something. But here, yeah, I wasn't under any pressure, so I did not see a reason for me to sacrifice or to run into a Mirror Force or into a Torrential. That is also why I'm not summoning anything, because I did not want to run into a Torrential. And that is one way for me to lose this game, is to just run into a Torrential and die for running into the Torrential. And those 2 cards I'm very afraid of. I always try to play around both if possible. Otherwise I just take the coin flip, play around 1. And in this tournament specifically, I lost the die roll every time. I always was like, I'm gonna play around Mirror Force. And then I run into the Torrential. And if I was like, I was like, I'm gonna play around the Torrential. I ran into the Mirror Force. Yeah, that is just GOAT. GOAT is a lot of 50-50s that you have to win. And sometimes you can't fit better.
In this tournament, I think it was round 3. I played a goat control mirror match, and my opponent started his game with first turn summoning Last Warrior.
Wait, first game
So
summon.
I am pretty familiar with losing the die roll.
Yeah.
First turn Last Warrior.
So first game here, going to your boy itself, Chris. Chaos Turbo, I went 1-3, so I lost every game after this one. I just had to bang on him for the feature match. But yeah, let's run it to the next game.
Let's run into the next game, and this is the game that I was playing against a very, let's say, interesting deck.
Alright, this is you on the bottom, obviously wrapping the IP sleeves with the motorbike.
Always my IP sleeves.
Yeah, always the IP sleeves. So IP is obviously Bay.
Ooh. And just looking into my hand, I don't think if you saw it, it's Mirror Force, Graceful, Heavy Storm, MST, and something else.
Exile, right?
So I'm good with the one-offs today.
Troops.
Maybe even another one-off.
Yeah, troops here. So he starts off by Gracefuling, and this is the Exodia deck, right?
Yeah. Yeah, this is the Exodia deck, yeah.
And this is the Exodia deck.
So if you don't know the card, he just activated the, I think it's called like something Heart of the Brethren or something. It basically just says if you draw a card and it is a normal monster, you can reveal it and draw one more card. And you can potentially do this indefinitely until you don't see a normal monster.
Well, you can draw your whole deck
this
with
deck
one card.
You could potentially draw your whole deck, yeah. But what the important thing here is you can draw all 5 pieces of your Exodia.
Yes. So what were you playing in this time? Were you playing the zombie deck or were you playing the other one, the Chaos Turbo?
No. I was playing Goat Control.
Oh, Goat.
I played Goat Control for this
Goat
tournament.
Control. Okay.
I played Goat Control with 3 Decree in my main deck. As well as now here we see it. Do you see it? Like reveal a normal
3,
monster, draw one more.
4.
Reveal a normal monster, draw one more.
So he just drew 6
And
cards.
it is not a normal monster anymore. Yeah, he just draws 6 cards.
He just drew 6 cards. He just started a new Yu-Gi-Oh game, basically. And what is this?
And there's Super Rejuvenation.
Oh, it's Super Rejuvenation.
This says for every dragon monster that is, like, I think discarded,
you draw
or
one.
just sent to the graveyard, you draw 1 card in the end phase, yeah.
I think for every dragon monster is sent to the graveyard this turn, right? You draw 1. Because this was the Dragon Ruler card that everyone played. You would go end phase, Super Rejuve.
This was the card in Dragon Ruler. Yeah, and it's not. Oh, and that is another good monster. Like the monster he just summoned. Its effect is that it can discard normal monsters, and for each normal monster discarded, you get 1,000 attack.
Oh, so he would like draw 20 cards right now if you didn't have Torrential.
If it had Torrential, like this is like 6k damage just from this card alone.
Yeah, well as drawing 6 cards in end phase. I think he just drew a normal monster and forgot to reveal it to draw another card. No, it was a spell. Yeah, it was a spell.
No, it was
Definitely,
a spell.
It was definitely a spell. Unlucky for the spell, but happens sometimes. Like this deck seems hella bullying
starts.
Royal Oppression.
Yeah, it definitely is. It definitely is. Royal Decree. Oppression is a different beast of a card.
Royal Decree, yeah.
But yeah.
So no more traps.
I just lost so many games because I just didn't have the protection because of Royal Decree. So I don't think this is a card that I will keep putting into my deck.
As well as Magician of Faith getting back Graceful Charity. You're just styling on him.
That's just nice. That's just nice.
Like at this point, you're literally just styling on him.
I would honestly love to see normal monsters in his hand.
You're legit just styling on him. Like, what is he supposed to do? Now you can go relinquish, take his monster. Oh, okay.
Oh,
Okay.
no. Oh no. We take his monster in a different way. We go Mobius, and Mobius will destroy his 2 back rows.
Wow. Yeah, you know what would be funny right now? If you drew for turn and revealed Exodia and you lost. I would think
Yeah,
that-
that would be hilarious. That would be hilarious.
I would love it. I would actually love it just to see him Exodia once. I don't even want to know the outcome of every game because I want to see him reveal Exodia. I hope he does at some point. Okay, set 1. Set 2. Man, this must feel so bad. Royal Decrease the worst card in GOAT.
Yeah, especially with a Royal Decree. Yeah, Royal Decree is so bad if you are behind. Because none of your good trap cards can help you bring the game back.
Yeah, the trap cards in GOAT are really the defining factor for a comeback. So your back row defines how well you can come back into a game. And if half of your back row is just turned off, but it is at 1, right?
Yeah,
It is limited.
it's at 3.
It is at
It's
3.
at 3.
It's
No,
at
it's
3.
unlimited. It is at 3. That's the reason you played. In this deck, you play 3 Royal Decree, 1 Torrential, 1 Mirror Force. That's your whole traps, because the idea is you don't need your defensive cards because you play Scapegoat. So your opponent will not kill you through Scapegoat or the Relinquished.
Yeah, I should run this in Chaos Turbo. Yeah, just 3 of these.
The Royal Decree.
Yeah.
The thing is, in Chaos Turbo, your traps are just way too important.
I mean, I can
Like
live without
without
the traps.
Raigeki Break Wing Blast, your Thunder Dragon is only good for Graceful.
I guess, yeah, there's also Trap Infecting, which you can discard, and Delinquent Duo is in the game, so there are some ways to discard
Yeah,
it.
there is, but it is not so good, especially because like if I play against Warrior, I can kill them pretty easily. But if Chaos plays against Warrior without traps, that's a problem.
Okay, here, he scooped, right? He scooped. He just hit normal
Yeah,
monsters.
he got OTK'd. That's just game. That's just game. And he didn't had anything in hand. He just said he had normal monster. He drew normal monster, and without the spell, drawing a normal monster is terrible.
Yeah, this deck must open like 5 normal monsters sometimes and not do anything for 3 turns in a row and then just lose. Like, it doesn't seem that...
Probably. The bad thing is they also play like big normal monsters. Like I know he's running Blue Eyes and I know he's running Red Eyes Black Dragon. So those are 2 tribute monsters. I
Yes.
have in this tournament bricked with my Monarch so many times because I didn't have a monster to tribute them. How bad must it feel to see a Blue Eyes in your hand?
It must feel absolutely terrible, especially since all of your normal monsters have like 200 defense that you can just set them, because every monster in the game just runs over them. But maybe there's some build of
Yeah.
Exodia that is actually good in GOAT. Something... I think the good Exodia build is just Empty
Probably
Jar.
some. Nah, not really. I think the best is still Library because Library can actually draw his whole deck in turn 1.
Yeah, you just need to draw the library.
Yeah, you just need to draw the Library and then you just win. But the thing is, if you play that, why don't you play Library FTK, which does not need to play 5 bricks in the deck?
It's because you like Exodia, man. Who doesn't like revealing Exodia?
Yeah, because you like Exodia. You know what I also like? That the Dragon player just activated Reload.
I don't think that is
So,
a dragon deck.
I
no,
mean,
man.
that's a way. Yeah, it is. It is a dragon deck. It is a dragon deck. That's why the Super Rejuvenation is in there. So all the normal monsters are dragons,
Are there even enough
so that
dragons?
they work with Super Rejuvenation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Obviously, there are enough dragons. Do you know how many dragons they can print in like 3 years?
There has been a dragon deck that has been competitive since like the start of Yu-Gi-Oh! So I cannot count.
Yeah. Dragons always.
So I feel like Dragons has been
And I think it's
competitive
fun.
in every game and every format ever.
I think you know what I think fun about dragons currently, or like in the last 3 or 4 years, that dragon has turned from like an archetype to like now it's just dragons. Whatever we print just works with every other dragon card
Yeah, this is true.
that has ever existed.
Yeah, they tried Rocket, so Rocket as an archetype, and people were just like, yeah, I'm gonna put like 5 Rocket cards into my 60 card Dragon deck. That is going
Into
to
my
work.
dragon deck.
Yes,
Yeah.
because I can
It's
combo
dragons.
into
Like
it.
dragons is an archetype now.
Yeah, Dragons is so. I was talking about this on stream like 3 days ago, but there are some archetypes in the game that legit just have one, or just some types like Pyro that legit barely have any support and barely have any decks associated with it. So for example, Pyro, what does
Yeah.
Pyro have? Pyro has nothing. I only know Volcanics. I know Volcanics are Pyro.
Volcanics of Pyro.
But are the new
And card pretty much
Firefighter
it.
Ace cards Pyro?
Rescue Ace?
Rescue
No,
Ace.
they are fire machines.
Oh, they are fire, okay. So they are fire machines, so Pyro barely has anything, right? Psychic, the
Yeah.
last Psychic deck has been, was Punk, right? Punk are all Psychics. But before that,
Yeah, they have Punk. It's fine.
yeah, Punk, but before Punk, do you know any Psychic deck before Punk? Because I do not. There were just so jumps. Psychic was an archetype back in the day in Synchro times. So there just was Psychic, which was decent-ish. And other than that, there hasn't been an
Yeah, but
archetype.
the thing is, like you had psychics in Teledat where it was tier 0. You had punks that were pretty good for some time. There's probably are 2 more psychic decks that have been meta at some point. So it is still not the saddest archetype of the saddest type of all time.
Nah, there's also been Gamma.
You know what's the saddest type ever? You know what's that's the Psyframes. They're Psyframes. They have been
Psychic
okay at
Psychic
some
has like this thing where they have very good support cards, but only a Psychic archetype has never been really that good. Punk is the only one that has been somewhat rogue.
Ooh. Here, by the way, just a short detour back to the match.
Oh yeah, we're
see
actually commentating a match.
very interesting thing. Like that is here we had a discussion because that is Pot of Everest. If you don't realize,
I do see the Pot of Everest, yes.
and Pot of Everest is not a legal card in GOAT. However, it was printed in the same year, but I think after the ban list that ended GOAT format. And this guy did not know because he was looking up when Pot of Everest released, and it wasn't the right year, so he thought it must be GOAT legal.
Oh, so
And here we just handled it pretty mild because it is still a friendly tournament. He obviously was not knowing it, so he got a warning for that, but we continued the match. Normally this should be just a game or even a match loss, but we decided just to give him a warning, put the card on the side, draw another card, and just continue play here. Because it's just very boring to give like in a 30 people tournament, give people like DQs for
yeah,
stuff like
30
that.
people for fun Goat tournament. Like, why would you DQ anyone?
Yeah,
for
why would
something
you
like that?
DQ or like even give a game match? There was just a warning, put the card out after the match, put something else in, so you have 40 and just continue playing. It's not that bad.
Yeah. So what is the saddest
But yeah,
archetype?
what I wanted to come to is the saddest. It is reptiles.
Oh, that is
Reptiles have
yeah.
never been good. Has never been a reptile deck that is just anything more than just a for fun rogue deck. Like aliens in Edison are a for fun deck.
You don't
You can play them, they work, but they're not good.
you don't talk shit about aliens.
And then
yeah.
there was Ogdodek, which was also just a for fun rogue deck.
Yeah,
And I don't make shit. I have an alien Ogdodek deck at home. Like I wanna play reptiles.
you're the
Okay,
guy.
I wanna play reptiles,
You're the guy that
but they're just never good.
you're the guy that buys out Snake Rain 3 times a year when they announce a new reptile archetype.
Damn, I have my free Snake Rains back there, but I am not stupid. I know the second there is just any reptile deck that just does anything, Snake Rain is gonna get banned.
Yeah, Snake Rain is gonna
This
get
card
destroyed.
is stupid. It's stupid. That is, it's basically
It's
like
Sixth
what's the
Sense.
card called?
It's Sixth Sense.
Yeah, it's
No,
no Sixth Sense is the one that
it's painful
choice. It's painful choice for reptiles. Yeah, this card is nuts, and even Alien Ogdoadic for being a really bad deck. If you draw Snake Rain, it actually plays in 2023. It doesn't play good, but you end with like Abo Baron if you Snake Rain.
There's like a big ask to draw the random one off to end on Upper Baron. But yeah, like some kind. I think
free off,
maybe,
it's a free
maybe they
off,
don't.
but-
Maybe it's like this cycle where they don't print any good reptile decks because Snake Rain is legal. But then, if they ban Snake Rain, everyone's gonna be mad.
No, I just think because what do you want to print that is reptile? Like, what the funny thing can you do with reptiles?
I don't, bro.
Like,
Don't
there's
tell me.
snakes. I love snakes. I have 3 snakes at home, but still, like, snakes don't do anything. That's the reason reptiles have never done anything. They just lay there and look out of the window
Have you ever seen?
24 hours a day.
Bro, reptile is like a whole ass biological spectrum, right? So there's a lot of things you can do with reptiles. And I'm not talking, like, Konami for sure has many ideas. Because they made Greek letters into a whole ass archetype, yeah? Because, so they can make any reptile good. Don't talk like that. Don't talk like that. I know
Which Greek letters did they make into an archetype?
Psi-Frame Gamma, Psi-Frame Omega. These are all Greek letters. They made the fucking phones into...
Yeah, but come on.
What? Come on, that is exactly what they did. That is exactly what they did.
They're just called like that. They're just called like that. I mean, you also have Drytron Alpha, but they're not named after Greek letters.
They are all called after Greek letters.
Like,
Drytrons is
Alpha-
like... Drytron is also after Greek letters, yeah? It's the same. They did it twice!
No,
Now that you
Drytron's
mention
just
it.
called after stars.
They
They
did
called
it
them after
twice!
stars.
They did it
Those
twice!
stars are just named after Greek letters.
So,
Drytron is a whole star formation archetype. Like this, they're all stars or galaxies or something like that.
yeah, but they made archetypes out of, like, telephones and shit. Like, Morphtronic is
Yeah,
just
that's cool.
basic
Yeah, that's
appliances
cool.
in your house, you know? So they can...
Have you watched Transformers? Like that is cool.
Yeah, I've watched Transformers.
They just like a telephone turns into a robot that just FTKs you. That is fine. That is fun. Who doesn't like that?
Yeah, so they
Konami does not make back design
they
choices.
they,
All good.
they can make like a reptile archetype that is good. There's no way they can't make that. They just don't
Yeah,
want
they
to.
can. It is very easy. You just print 10 new alien cards that does not work with the old alien cards because they're completely different, but they make a nuts combo board or even FTK you, so they're meta relevant. It's easy.
Yeah, there you go. Just make like maybe they make like a link for alien monster that has like some insane effect and then alien becomes meta. That just says like you can special summon alien monsters from your head for free. Something like that. And then you just play danger alien and you
Yeah.
just FTK your opponent with aliens somehow. I don't know how aliens work. But let's get back into the game maybe. So here he had to set
Yeah,
his...
but this game is over, so there's like a Parshev and attack and attack and attack.
mean,
so
this
nothing really happened in this game.
Yeah, nothing really happened except
Because
how-
I know that in this game, those 3 cards in his hand are like 3 normal monsters that he had from turn 1. And they all need to be tribute summoned, so the hand was just not doing anything.
So he was just doing nothing and you were just attacking for free the whole game. That was basically game 1 and game 2.
Yeah, and I had Parshev. So I was not only attacking, I was drawing a card every time I attacked.
Yeah, now the question is the next match on the next track or is it still on this one?
I think it should just be on this one.
No, it's on the next
Oh
one.
no, it is not. It is not.
So let me get straight to the next one. So this is the next match.
Okay.
Alright.
So we already got a short spoiler for this match.
So this is...
And I think this is gonna be a meta game. I think they are both on Chaos.
You think they're both on Chaos? I don't know who is playing
I
here.
think they're both on Chaos. I think this is Chaos Turbo against Chaos Control.
Okay, so actual meta goat game right now. So
Yeah.
hits the judgment with the MST. Wait, that doesn't look like a goat card to me. Like a meta goat card. I mean, I guess it is.
That is Shining Angel. That's just Light Recruiter. That's
Yeah,
just
it's fine.
what's it called? Mystic Tomato for lights. It's pretty good. It's a deck that I have seen and I have tried lately. It's Chaos Recruiter, where instead of the flip monsters, which lose against Warrior and Crossout and anything like that, you just play Recruiters for a Light and Darks, and then whatever else is Chaos playing. It's an interesting deck,
So it's,
but it's not on the same power level that Chaos Turbo is.
so it's like just a different take on the Chaos deck. So it's still
Yeah,
Chaos.
it's a different take. Yeah, you replace like your morphs with Shining Angel, Mystic Tomato. You don't play the Koichis and stuff like that.
Uh-huh. I never heard of that for some reason.
So it's better to go against it's better against warriors. That's the one thing. It plays better against warriors because you do not rely on your flip monsters. But you don't have Moth that adds you a second
yeah, fair
Graceful or a second Pot of Greed. So that's the downside of the deck.
Yeah, I see on top we have Chaos Control, and on the bottom it is Chaos Turbo. This is what I see.
Yeah, Chaos. It's some Chaos Turbo, but yeah, that's like just Chaos against Chaos.
Yeah. So here we see he already activated a MST, Graceful, as well as Trap Dust Shoot.
Yeah.
How do you lose?
It's great.
You can't lose that. I feel like this is an unlosable game at this point.
Ooh, and there comes another one-off with Sangan. Sangan is such a great card. This
Yeah.
card just becomes better and better the more you play Goat. And you realize why Sangan is such a powerful card.
Yeah, it just searches your whole deck. You can search whatever you want. Removing it is
and there's
also dangerous.
nothing to out it. Attacking into it is like feels bad because your opponent gets a search. Using any of your removal is worthless because he gets a search. So if you not exactly have Blackluster Soldier, Sangan is always good.
Yeah, or Chaos Sorcerer. But yeah, you can't remove it easily. You have to use, like, the best thing you can do if you don't play Chaos is just attack into it. But it still feels bad because he can
Yeah.
search whatever card he wants to out your board or for the current situation. Like the amount of times I've searched the Tsukiyomi with Sangan, and I realized how insane Sangan actually is searching Tsukiyomi. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. It also like
MVP.
sometimes it searches a morph if you know that both crossouts are gone, or it searches like in this case a DD Warrior Lady if you need to out something. Like Sangan is such an insane card.
Yeah, just search what you want. The only thing that is kind of hard to search with Sangan is Spell Trap removal, because there really isn't a monster that does that too well in
Yeah.
Dawn. I can't think of any that does it too well, off of a Sangan search at least.
But
But-
you know what's why Sangan is especially good in this deck with the Recruiter? Because they play Recruiter, they can play Creature Swap. So you can Creature Swap a Sangan to your
Oh.
opponent's side of the field.
Yeah, that sounds insane if you creature swap your Sangan to your opponent, then attack into it and
Yeah,
search whatever you want.
Yeah, it's already pretty nuts if you Creature Swap your Recruiters to him, but Sangan is... Ooh, but we see a Heavy Storm on 2 back row.
Yeah, sadly
This
they.
is an even trade.
Uh,
He loses 2 cards, you lose 2 cards. That's an even trade.
yeah, now he goes for the Tribe Infecting. Discards 1 to attack. into the Warrior Lady, just to maybe if that is his only out to DD Warrior Lady, it's kind of feels bad, man, to use your tribe infecting like that.
Yeah, I mean you can always attack into it, but like using tribe with a Thunder Dragon in hand is just free. It accomplishes the same thing as any other monster attacking into it, but just like you also make damage. And now the tribe is insane.
Yeah, now the tribe just wipes the field. So this spy was a terrible set. I think that was his only card in hand. His last card in hand was the tribe, so he had to set it. But yeah, there was nothing to play around this, really.
Oh, I just realized this guy next round, this guy plays against me. So one of those. And he game 3 opens Delinquent, Graceful, MST, Sangan, I think Miraphos Torrential or something. Like he had like seven one-offs in 2 turns.
Damn. Yeah, sometimes you just have everything. Like sometimes you just lose. Goat is one of
Yeah, sometimes.
Goat is kinda like current, kinda like advanced. People don't want to know, people don't realize, but sometimes it just is like that. Sometimes you just have everything and your opponent has nothing, and sometimes it is the other way around and you just lose to RNG. So that is just Yu-Gi-Oh!
I mean, Goat is in it a lot of times because it just has those stupid ass cards, and like opening any of the big powerful free and not opening them is just like completely different.
Yeah, but that is what defines
especially
Goat.
For Chaos.
Yeah, that is what defines.
Yeah, that's
Goat.
what makes Goat. That's what makes Goat.
Like Pot of Greed, Graceful Charity, Delinquent, to those. I would say those 3 cards kind of define Goat as a format. That is what everyone plays. But Goat, it's called Goat for a reason, right? So people must love it. They must love Goat because it is called Goat. I would like to know.
Yeah, because without those stupid cards, Goat just wouldn't be as fun.
Yeah.
Because there's not much else that is particularly fun about Goat.
Yeah, I do wonder who came up with the name Goat. Who just thought Goat is the format? This format is called Goat. You know, greatest of all time.
There's a video about that, which is pretty interesting, about the whole history of Goat and who invented it.
I mean, Konami invented it with the ban list, but who brought it back?
Yeah, sure, but the guy that like brought it back to life, yeah.
Oh, really? How did he do it? Was it just like, I want to play this?
I don't remember anymore exactly. It's a very long video, and I knew I've watched it, but it's like a year ago.
Okay. But here the crossout on the set.
But I could definitely send it to you.
Here's the crossout on the set. Yeah, please do. I wanted to watch it. And he judgments it. So we don't know what is said.
That's a moth. I would bet everything that I have that is a moth. Because otherwise, why would you judgment? Or no, never mind. His life points are very low. Yeah, he would have probably been dead.
Yeah, his life points are low because he activated judgment, my man.
Yeah, but otherwise he had 3-4, 1-6. So okay, so it's not game. It's a Koichi. Okay, now I don't understand this judgment. I really don't understand this judgment.
Nah, I don't know about this judgment. But he still picks up his cards.
Yeah, and that's game. Yeah, that's game. I don't get this judgment.
Maybe this was his last cards in hand and he had to get the draw
Maybe
somehow.
he knew that next game it's over, so his draw needs to be good, or otherwise he loses, and just getting like 2 cards is better, I guess, but still. This judgment didn't seem too good.
Yeah, maybe he knew next turn it was over anyway, so he judgmented just to protect the monster, to draw an extra card. Because it would have been the same.
Yeah, but what happens if you draw like Blackluster Soldier and just come back into the game, and then you have a judgment to protect your Blackluster Soldier? And if you don't get a card like that, well, you just scoop. I think it's better to keep the judgment.
In general, I would agree. Just leave the judgment there and don't like.
Because he still had one back row, so without the judgment, what's gonna happen? He makes BLS, and then your opponent Raigeki breaks it, and you lose either way.
Yeah, baseline, like, don't judgment a Dekoichi. Or don't protect your Dekoichi.
Yeah. If you're not dead, if he would have been dead, yeah, sure, but like this.
It would have been that, sure, but not like this. Wait, I'm just skipping to the game. Yeah, here it is, game number 2, Chaos versus Chaos. Instantly starting off with Delinquent Duo.
And we start off with a Delinquent
And
Duo.
as we all know, 75% chance to win the game once you activate Delinquent Duo turn 1. So maybe he discards Sinister Serpent, Thunder Dragon. That would be sick.
So he did not hit a good card. That's at least good for the Chaos player that he did not hit one of his good cards, and there goes down a Metamorph.
I would guess he has either a second one in hand, or he doesn't have a way to activate Metamorph. And he just drew another Metamorph.
Oh, and in a trap does shoot.
Holy.
Oh.
But just
looking at his hand, this Delinquent didn't do anything. He has a Graceful Charity in hand. Yep, we go cross out for the sad monster.
well, this is just a card advantage that is very good. In this case,
What did it hit? It hit a Dekoichi.
I would just. Would you side out, cross out in the mirror?
No, never.
So you would.
Because even if you just hit a Moth and all your Moth are gone, at least his Moth are gone too before it can resolve. Like, giving Chaos ever the chance to resolve Magician of Faith is bad.
Fair enough. I guess you cannot just use it as removal.
Yeah.
Yeah, discarding the second Metamorph because he doesn't have a way to activate the Metamorph into Relinquish. And here's Shangan attack. But look at his hand. He now just has 2 cards. Anti-Sakuretsu armor. I don't like it.
The Senga.
I don't like
I
it.
don't like it at all. I don't
I would
like
just
it
let
at
it
all.
through.
I also I don't like Sakuretsu armor in general, except in Warrior. But on a Sangan, I would just take the 1000 damage.
Same. Because here he gets the search. He searches for Sinister Serpent. So now even though he doesn't have any more Metamorphs, his last Metamorph is now live for sure. And he can discard for free with the Sinister.
Sinister is good. Sinister is really, really good here. Especially because they are both low on cards. They both are only on 3 cards, yeah.
Yeah, they barely have any card advantage. But it's kind of evened out now. Just because he, honestly, our player on the bottom, he just misplayed, honestly. I think it's straight up a misplayed to Sakuretsu the Sangan. Just threw away your Delinquent
I mean, he
Duo.
has a second one, so this Sakuretsu is not bad, but yeah, you just threw away all the advantage that Delinquent Duo gave you. But you also threw it away in deck building as you put Sakuretsu armor in your Chaos deck, I think. Because Chaos, more than anything, is only strong if every single card you see is just insane and trades with something on the board or gives you even more advantage. And Sakuretsu armor doesn't really do that.
Well, it isn't
Like, if they find a way to out it before you can activate it, it's just a dead card.
It isn't an instant
And even if they
trade-off.
attack most of the time, most of the time it doesn't really do all that much.
Yeah,
So I'm not a fan of Sakuretsu armor.
it isn't like this instant payoff where you flip it and you already know what you're gonna target, so your opponent can play around it. But the point of Chaos is kinda that your opponent can't play around your cards really. At least your spells and traps, because you discard and you target, so you can't play around the Sakuretsu armor. But this way you can play around the Sakuretsu armor. But there's also the surprise factor. You're like, I'm playing against Chaos, and this guy flips Sakuretsu. You're like, why is this guy playing Sakuretsu? And you just run into it. So that is one way to look at it. And another way I would play Sakuretsu armor is in the side deck. Just because.
Yeah, I mean, I am 90% sure it came in from the side deck. I don't think he main decks that. I couldn't imagine he main decking it.
But do you think he? Do you actually think he sided it in for this matchup? Do you think it was a good siding? I feel like it's like a meh.
I would definitely not. Definitely not. It's like, I mean, I haven't seen a judgment. Oh, yeah, he had judgment. He had judgment. I remember. So I think, honestly, especially because it is like a goat kind of deck with those scapegoats. What's it called? Dust Tornado. It's way better. Because end phase Dust Tornado on a scapegoat is so good.
What does Dust Tornado do?
There's a cross out. Just the trap card that just destroys one
Standard trap?
back row.
Oh, okay, I know. Okay, here we have Sangan
The trap MSC.
and the Raigeki break.
See
with
an
the-
attack into the Raigeki break. Is he dead if he doesn't do that? I think he
No.
might be. He's not.
No. It's fine. But what have we had now? Oh no, never mind. I just had a thought. That was a bad thought. But here
There's
another
another
recruiter,
monster.
and this is game. Yeah, he had the judgment, but if you judgmented, this would have been game anyway.
Yeah, this game.
So here,
Yeah, this would have been game anyway.
moving on to game number 3.
Sadly enough, those discarding those two, I think discarding those two metamorph actually cost him the game. I mean, it was definitely right to discard them if you don't have anything. It's just unfortunate that you are forced to discard two of your best cards. Because Metamorph is like a card that brings back games. Like sometimes if I play Goat Control against Chaos, it doesn't matter how much ahead they are. If my Relinquished hits the field and they don't have an immediate answer to that, all their advantage is gone.
Yeah, you're right. But another point is, there's a Thunder Dragon here, and I don't know what it is doing here. Because he just started the game, and this Thunder Dragon is just... I don't know how...
Didn't he start with Thunder Dragon?
No, I think he forgot. Straight up, look.
He probably started with Thunder Dragon.
No, look.
No, he
Oh, he
definitely
did.
activated it, yeah.
Then when did this game start?
Yeah, he did. He just activated it.
I guess it starts here. I went too far. I thought the game started like way back, but whatever. Yeah, here he goes, Thunder Dragon. Never mind. My bad. Actually, my bad on that one. Yeah, but how does what is the side deck plan for these decks in the mirror? Like you definitely side in the warrior guy, Kaiko.
Yeah, Warriors, Kaiko is a good one. Mind Control is always a good one against Chaos.
Yeah, mind control is general. Brain control maybe. Brain control is like
Maybe
decent.
it's good against a recruiter deck. It is not the worst against a recruiter deck. But if you don't play like any monarchs or any tribute monsters, Brain Control is not that good.
I guess so. Yeah, I guess so. It's not like the best. Maybe you side it in. Maybe I would side out like flip monsters, just because they always side in the cross out. So I would side out some flip monsters, some Dekoichis, or stuff like that. So the crossouts are dead. Are dead
Keeping
cards.
them off, like side out the Koichis. Night Assailant is good to keep, but like maybe the Spies, and then just I really like to side in some warriors, like 2 Kaiko, 2 Blade Knight
Yeah.
in a mirror.
Yeah, fair enough. So here I have an interesting question. If your opponent activates Delinquent Duo or like a danger monster, do you actually take out the dice Do you actually take out the dice and roll and to choose a card, or do you just choose a card?
No, I just choose a card.
Okay, because I also just choose a card. I hate it when my opponent rolls a dice, and it takes like
I
10
mean,
times
against
longer.
dangers, it makes sense. For dangers, it makes sense because if you play dangers and your opponent just targets them, and so you have to shuffle your hand all the time, and just like danger, put your card out, and he rolls the die. Against dangers, it makes sense. Against delinquent, just pick one
Nah,
card.
but everyone just shuffles his hand anyway, so it doesn't matter. Because they always activate danger, shuffle their hand, and then they set them, and then you roll. But I never roll. I just say discard. Because I don't care. I don't care. It just takes too much time for me. It makes the game faster. So it just speeds up the game. And I never had anyone complain. No one ever said, please roll the dice.
Yeah. And to be honest, in GOAT, it doesn't even matter. In a, like, if I play my Danger Dark World deck, it's gonna take some time, no matter what.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you roll or if I shuffle and you pick. It doesn't matter. But now we see Blade Knight. This Blade Knight came in from the side deck and it hit the Magician of Faith. So this Blade Knight did exactly what it needed to do.
Attacking all of the insane flip monsters that are in this game. You know what? I miss flip monsters. I kind of want to have flip monsters back, but like, how would you bring flip monsters back in 2023? I wonder. Like, they would have to have...
I don't know.
I know. I have an idea. Let me talk. I have an idea. I'm smart. You print a field spell, okay? And you print a link 1 that searches the field spell, okay? So, like, every archetype that ever existed after they put terraforming to 1. So you search the field spell, and the field spell just says you can change the battle positions, every battle position of all of your monsters once per turn. So you can just a quick effect. So you can once per turn just quick effect activate the field spell, and all of your monsters get flipped up. So you can change it from face up attack into face down defense, or face down defense to face up attack. And that way you can quick effect in your turn and quick effect in his turn. Okay, maybe that's kind of too busted, but
I don't know. It sounds a bit like Subterra.
yeah, so Subterra...
It sounds too different, too similar to Subterra.
Yeah, but the flip effects are different.
Its own
Well,
archetype.
you need either...
Also, in my opinion, we should just let flip monsters die. Who cares about flip monsters?
Nah, man.
The last two flip archetypes that just did anything in this game were Shaddoll and Subterra, and both of them are just like monkey flip floodgate decks.
Yeah, but you want to avoid that. But this wasn't my question. My question was, how do you bring them back? And the only way I can think of to bring them back is either to print a field spell, or a continuous spell, or a continuous trap that lets them flip their monsters face up or face down. That's the only way you can bring them back, because you can't expect someone to set one monster and pass a turn. That is not realistic in today's game.
Yeah, but I think flips, just from their mechanic, they're too slow. And whatever you give them, there's still the problem of those are just like face down monsters. So I don't know.
Maybe they will also just die.
I would definitely like some deck in 2023 that just lets me set a Magician of Faith to get back one of my spells.
I just want to play GOAT in 2023. I mean, you can do that. You just will lose every game, but sure. Why not? Why not? I want to bring 3 Ashes into GOAT. That is what I want to convince everyone. So you actually have a counter to Pot of Greed, Graceful Charity, Thunder Dragons. You can just go Ash, and you Ash them, and that would make the format 10 times better.
You get your free Ash. You get your free Ash in GOAT. I get my free Mystic Mine in GOAT. Okay?
Disagree. Hard disagree. Yeah. Because I'm gonna argue this.
What disagree? You just need to activate another field spell, and it's dead. It's balanced.
Bro, tell me one field spell in GOAT, yeah. That isn't Mountain. There you go, you don't even know.
There are a lot.
Yeah, but
There are some.
There are some.
There are some.
You don't get
I'm
Mystic
just
Mine.
making a short list into my hand, into my head. I'm just thinking. But I know a lot of them. Okay, I just want to sort them in my head, like which one I'm going to tell you first. And this could potentially take some time.
Does your thinking involve any type of Googling?
Nah, I wouldn't do that. I would never do that.
Nah,
I would never do
I
that.
also wouldn't expect you to do that, right?
I just look into this direction because this direction where my second monitor is like the place where I think the best.
Yeah, fair enough. I can understand that. Okay, so this game kind of went crazy without looking at it, but this is game 3. He oh, the trap does shoot on the
Oh,
summon.
and another dust shoot. How many of those does he have? I think this guy just eat 3 dust shoot in this 3 games.
Yeah, but you have to choose the spy. You have to choose the Chaos Sorcerer, right? Or does he not have light and dark targets? Yeah, and also, advice from me, never do that. Never expect your opponent to know your deck. And capitalize on that. So if he activates anything, for example, a tactics, and looks at your hand, just don't say anything, just show him your hand and let him pick. And don't act like you know which card he's going to take, because maybe he doesn't know your deck that well. So just open your hand and say which card do you want to pick, and that's all you do. You don't indicate that this one, right?
Or you just bait your opponent so hard.
Yeah, that could also be.
Or you just bait your
you can also do
opponent
that
so
yeah.
hard. By taking one card and just like this one, right? This one, right?
Yeah.
And just hope your
This is
opponent
like
picks it.
if you have like a circular and a I don't know addition in hand, it's just good addition, right? Okay, so this game ended how? With a Ring of Destruction.
You have to take
Yeah.
it. It's a free extender.
For
With a
sure,
Ring
for
of
sure.
Destruction, the classic way to end a goat game.
For sure. So here I'm gonna move forward onto the next game. Also, Mr. Howie Des, I hope I said it right. Yo, thank you for joining in. Freaking goat. Yeah, that is why we are here, to play some nice, or to look at some nice goat games from all goat locals. And this will take forever to get into the next game. Alright, next game. Too far. Alright, here we go. Next game.
So
this is me again, by the way.
last game of Swiss, right?
Who it is? Yo, are you from
This is
Sweden?
you again.
Yeah, I played twice for whatever reason.
And you get a delinquent duo.
Yeah, and I get delinquent. I lose this game. I lose this game so bad. This is me again. Yeah, I think I played. I guess who did I play? Yes, exactly. But please keep the chat in English. I think I don't know how to. I don't know what I played against. Honestly, this tournament was like a fever dream to me. I don't remember what.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah.
I saw so many rogues. So for this tournament, no one, but like half of the people were like, I don't play Chaos. I play some rogue deck pile.
Yeah, we had Exodia and Reasoning Gate, and I don't know what. A lot of different things. What did you
We
play?
had a burn player. We had
we have a Panda Burn player. I play Chaos Turbo, man. I'm like a meta
No,
sheep.
we had a Pender burn.
You can see me right here, like this on the bottom. This is me. This is me playing right now. Yeah, here, I think I flipped Magician of Faith. I grabbed the Graceful. I Graceful again. Then and this was like an insane turn. I Graceful again. I lose this game, by the way, I think. I think I lose this game. No joke. Because I did not draw into anything. I know this sounds...
Bro, how do you lose this game? You can't lose this game.
Yeah, I did lose this game for whatever reason. Look at my hand. I just have 5 monsters. So Tsukiyomi Book Hit. Attack.
Tsukiyomi Book. How do you lose this game?
Yo, man, I lose this game so bad. Maybe I win this one even. But I don't know. I know I lost the match. But this was the insane turn that I had. play Chaos Turbo. The decks are exactly the same now. Yeah, the rogue decks are fun to play. You know, a lot of people like playing gold decks, but I like Chaos Turbo. I just like Chaos Turbo. Okay, I like summoning BLS and Chaos Sorcerer. That is my shit. I don't know why. I love it. I love doing it. I love activating hand destructions. I love activating Magician of Face. I love summoning the Koichis. I don't know. It's just a deck for me. I haven't found another deck in Gold that I've enjoyed as much as Chaos Turbo. And I've played a couple of different ones. What is your favorite Gold deck? I know you played like Zombie. You played
Yeah,
I played
yeah, I
a lot
played
of-
a lot. But I have to say, my heart beats for Warriors.
You're a big Warrior
I
fan.
think Warriors is the most
Yeah,
fun
fair
deck. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it because I mean it's either Chaos Turbo, but the thing is, just love a deck that just scares the hell out of the best deck in the format.
Yeah, it's
No other deck, because the fun thing is every other rogue deck has a pretty good matchup against Warrior. It's not the biggest deal, but specifically for Chaos, Warrior is
it is an
so
absolute
hard to beat.
nightmare. I mean, you main deck Kaikus, you main deck Blade Soldiers, what is it called? Blade
Right?
Buzzer.
You main deck the Mystic Swordsman. You have a lot of traps that all hurt Chaos.
I love Cold Wave Monarchs. Abyss Soldier and Sinister is so much fun. Yeah, man, we have one guy playing.
Oh, Abyss Soldier Sinister is insane.
Yeah, we have one guy at this locals that does play water. I think he just plays water. He doesn't play Cold Wave Monarchs, and I think he just plays.
Yeah, he plays like water chaos or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
But we have him. If you go to the channel, in the first GOAT tournament we did, we have a match where
Yeah,
he
that's
was
right.
just
Like
abusing
the
the
channel
Abyss
is
Soldier.
linked like here, like down here. It says YouTube, and the first video is the first GOAT tournament. There's like an Abyss Soldier versus Chaos Turbo match. He won, I think, and you can watch that if you want to. And yeah, the deck is crazy. I lost to it so much just because Chaos Abyss Soldier just bounces all of my cards. And then I'm super mad. And Dust Shooter, I can't even get. Nah, man. It's so much tempo. It's so much tempo for the opponent. But here, let's see how I lose this game. Let's see how I lose it. Oh! Maybe I won this game though. Maybe I won this game though. Oh yeah, this is against the Monarch guy, I think, and I won this because his deck sucks. This is after me going 1 and 2. I played this game.
Yeah, I tried
I
top decking tribe against free scapegoat tokens.
Yeah, nah. Oh yeah, it is. He bricked 2 games in a row, and I still won. And I won both. I actually won this game. I lied, bro. I lied. I won this game, but I didn't win this game because I wanted to. You know, it feels so bad when your opponent just bricks and can't do anything, and you just beat him down, even though you have like a super bad hand, but you still win. I just feel bad every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, he snatched
Like
steals.
that happens so many times in Warrior when you're just like having your blade net with 2k attack, the opponent bricks and you just slowly beat him to death.
Yeah, and you just have this, I don't know, DD Warrior Lady, and you just attack him 6 times and you win. Just because he can't do anything. Man, here I could have just put the Snatch Steal on top. This may have been a better play, but I don't know. I don't know if that would have been correct.
Giving him the snatch shield back, I don't think so.
I don't know what was better. Also, I was scared here of...
I don't think so.
Also,
Because you have tribe in hand, and in a scapegoat deck, tribe in hand is better than tribe on field because you can remove it on field.
fair enough, yeah.
That is pure desperation. That is pure desperation if you creature swap
A
against the
Sangan.
Sangan.
Yeah. And did you see how expertly I threw the card to him? That was a very expert
Yeah.
flip from me. And yeah, here I go Tribe. Tribe effect again, wipe your board. Battle phase attack into my own Sangan. Get a search. Yeah, no way. Man, he has yet to summon a
Yeah,
monster.
this game is over.
This is like such a boring game, not
Yeah,
gonna lie.
this game is over. This game is over. Like, he doesn't have a monster on board. What's Monarch gonna do with no monsters on board?
Yeah, here I even go. I just go for the Koichi just so I can draw more cards because my hand also sucks so bad. So he still doesn't have anything. Just passes the turn. Bless you. I MST.
Thank you.
Chains book. I flip it back up. 1/6 set to the Koichi, pass my turn. I think I still have the Tsukiyomi in hand. Bless you.
Thank you. It's gonna happen another times. Yeah. So the Koichi, we get another card. This game looks over. Like, this is... There's
Yeah,
the delinquent.
yeah.
Yeah, just scoop, bro. Just scoop.
He
just
doesn't
scoop.
scoop. He hates scooping, man. Like, some people hate scooping. Just save yourself some time and scoop.
Yeah, especially because this tournament was played with time.
Yeah, this is actually a fast goal
Like, with
tournament.
the old time rules that are pretty forgiving, but yeah, this was played with time.
Was it just a tourney with friends? Essentially, yes, but no. That is the correct answer. Because we do pay entry, and we do... So it is very competitive in that sense that we do pay entry. It is a locals, but it is not run by an official OTS store. And we do have time. We do play with the old GOAT rules. And at the end of the year, I think we have a big tournament. And we count out all the points that everyone has gathered throughout the year. And the winner, or then there are some prizes you can get depending on how many people entered and stuff. So it's kind of like
It's also like a tournament. It's like in our area, we would, since we don't really have a GOAT tournament, some guy just started hosting them by himself, and it is publicly on Facebook and whatnot, so everyone can come that is from this area, but it's just like a privately held tournament.
Yeah, but
open for everyone.
It's a privately held tournament, but it is actually a good tournament. So it is like a normal GOAT tournament, just that we don't have an official OTS store running GOAT tournaments anywhere near us. So we do this because there is a high demand for GOAT to be played in this area, I guess. Also, we are not that... So we are like 10 to 15 people every time we play. I think, like around that. So we are not even...
Yeah, at least 10 to 15 people. Yeah. Like a tournament like this is bigger with more people, but like 10 to 15 are like always there.
Yeah. Sometimes it's a little bigger, but most of the time it's around 10 to 15 people. And we do have 2 national champions playing. So 2 Austrian national champions, 2019 and 2015, I think. So 2 national champions are playing in this. So it is quite competitive. We just have a lot of people that are just there casually, like at every locals, and do play kind of casual decks. But once we get to top 4 and finals, I don't know. Did we play top 4 or did we just play finals? I think we just played finals.
No, top 4 and finals.
Top 4 and finals. So top 4 and finals are actually...
No. Top 4 and finals. Yeah, it's top 4 and finals.
Yeah, top 4 and finals. That is where you can see the actual very good GOAT players with very meta decks. But this is also... so here... I played, like, this isn't even the 3-0 versus 3-0 guy. This is the 1-2 guy versus the 1-2 guy, because the other people did not want to play a feature match for whatever reason, so we had to settle with me. me bricking 4 games in a row, and the other guy also bricking, but bricking worse. So yeah, that is just how it runs. Oh my god. Alright, I will leave you for a second and I will grab some water. Maybe.
Okay, just setting 1 card. Not the most insane start, especially against the breaker. Ooh, and we hit a Mirror Force. So already, pretty good start from KS again. That was the delinquent duo. Like, it's not so much his opponent bricking, it's just like him getting all the one-offs he needs to completely destroy him. Ooh, into a Pot of Greed. Yeah, this game already looks pretty rough for the Monarch player here. Pretty rough. So we
Alright, we
delinquent
are back.
here.
Yo, Galileo, my
Be
boy,
happy
you
to
are
see the
back.
grave. So
Give me 1 second. Yo, Galileo, thanks for coming back. You
I
know
pretty
Yata?
much.
What were you talking about? I was just mad interrupting you. My bad.
Oh no! I just wanted to tell you, like, it's. I think because you said he's breaking, he's not really breaking. You just delinquent do a Pot of Greed at him,
Maybe I did.
like again.
Yeah, maybe I did that
again.
twice. Maybe I did that twice. But maybe he also discarded nothing and then drew nothing, so nothing gained, nothing lost. Okay, Galileo, thank you for coming back, my man. And you know Yata. What do you mean by Yata? Do you mean Yata Loked or do you mean Yata Garasu? So do you mean the YouTuber or do you mean the card? Because I know both. Or do you mean like something completely different? Alright, so what is happening here? Wait, I was in the game, I should know.
Yeah. Once
kinda-
again, he
I'm
gets
not-
completely styled on.
So I'm just completely destroying him while he has absolutely nothing. I think at some point I was saying like, I think I'm just gonna concede, man, because it feels so bad. And he was like, nah, man, I know my deck is terrible, so it's my own fault for my deck being terrible.
Yeah, especially because our Monarch player is such a good guy.
Yeah, he's
That
like,
is
oh my
such
god,
a
he's so
nice, bro.
Yeah, and also he plays Monarchs in
I
every
really
single
love
deck.
it. He also plays Monarch in every format. Yeah, in every format.
He always plays
I
Monarch.
think he still has a Monarch deck for the current format, so he just loves his Monarch.
Yeah, he plays current. He also has an Edison Monarch deck, right? I think he has an Edison Monarch deck. And he has a Gold Monarch deck. So he plays Monarch.
Yeah, he
in
has an
everything.
Addis Monarch deck. He has a Gold Monarch deck. He just loves Monarchs. Yeah.
I don't know. I think he's just like a big Monarch guy. But who doesn't love Monarchs? Yeah, here I was just like GG, man. Even though it wasn't GG.
Yeah.
Look at his hand. He couldn't have done anything.
I don't know. I don't see the hype in Monarchs.
Yeah, same. What is if you creature swap as Spirit Monster? Does it go back to your hand or does it go back to your opponent's hand?
To the hand of the person that owns the Spirit Monster. Like if you have a Tsukuyomi on field and you creature swap your Tsukuyomi to your opponent's field, it goes to your hand in the end phase. That's also a special tag that Chaos Recruiter does. They give you a Recruiter, or they give you a Tsukuyomi, and then it just bounces back.
Okay. Yeah, so here we had to wait like forever, and we just let the cam run. That is why I'm skipping.
Yeah, someone just didn't turn off the camera.
I think that was me. That someone was me. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I was telling people, hey, if you're done with the game, just stop the recording.
Yeah, but here this is... This is top 4. I think this is top 4. This is the first top 4 match. Or is it last match of the...
Now this is top 4.
This is top 4.
This
yeah.
should be top 4.
Okay, I'm just gonna skip to the start of the game.
And I think who is that? Is it?
Yeah, the top.
Is that our second national champions?
Yeah, so this guy on
the guy on the bottom.
the guy on the top is the second
On
national
the top.
This is Sebastian Moser, and on the bottom, it is. I don't know, man. I think this is the warrior, the guy that played warrior. I think this is a warrior deck. Pretty sure.
Might be. I would be hyped to see a good warrior like right now. But warrior against reasoning gate is pretty rough.
Yeah, so instantly drops the Cyberstein.
Oh.
Instantly drops the Cyberstein.
Cyberstein into what? I'm curious into what.
Does he know what
If
he's...
he knows what he's playing against, I don't know. But Rio Senshin, if he knows what he's playing against, is good. Or a Bolter. Bolter is always good.
Let's see what he does. Yeah, this is the dragon guy, right? That just says your dragons can't be targeted.
Yeah, that's the King
Yeah,
Dragoon.
that is the King Dragoon guy. Which absolutely destroyed me on Dueling Book like 2 days ago. And now the Monster Gate. Oh wow. If he now finds the... What does he find? Please don't mill your whole deck like me. Okay, Chaos Sorcerer can't be specialed. Chaos Sorcerer can't be specialed. So how many can he mill? Oh my god, where's the first one?
Oh, and that's not a really good hit.
Nah.
Oh, that's just a guy that draws a card. That's not good.
I don't know. I played Reasoning Gate for a couple of games, but it feels like once you break, your board gets broken, you kind of just lose. You can't do anything.
Yeah, pretty much. The thing is, just break a board. If Reasoning Gate goes full on out and just makes this board, yeah, you have one turn. Otherwise, you're dead. In a lot of times, it just feels like a current deck in how it plays. Because
Yeah,
it
for sure.
vomits out this big board. If you can break it, Reasoning Gate loses. If you can't break it, it wins.
Yeah.
But I'll be back in a second.
Yeah, okay. So it feels like an actual combo deck in Goat. There aren't that many combo decks in Goat. There's just Labyrinth. What am I saying? I'm playing too much advanced. There's only Library FTK, I think. That is one of the combo decks that is actually kinda decent. And Empty Jar is kinda decent. So those two are kinda decent. I don't know if there's any other ones that are okay at least. But this is a good start from our Chaos player. Dropping a Delinquent Duo here. See what he discards. Okay, Scapegoat, as well as what is the free discard? Probably, yeah. I feel like Reasoning Gate has this problem where you mill your whole deck and then you kind of just go deck card once you activate 2 Monster Gates. And then you just lose once they break their board because you don't have a way to recall the monsters. Maybe there's like some deck building way to fix that, but I think that would break the Monster Gates too much and the Reasoning Gates too much. So I don't think there's a good way to get around that. But Tribe Infecting is a very good card here. You just say Dragon and you attack into the Crane, and he Snatch Steals the Crane. Does he have a Mirror Force? Yeah, he picks up his cards. He just picks up his cards. You see, he broke his board instantly and...
Oh, we're
picked up
already
his...
done?
Yeah. He dropped the Tribe Infecting, called out Dragon, killed the Dragon, and then Snatch Stealed the Crane. Snatch Stole? Activated Snatch Steal, targeted the Crane, took the Crane, attacked, and our national champion just picked up his cards.
By the way, Snatch Steal... Have I showed you that? My Snatch Steal has arrived.
What is so good on this Snatch Steal?
Do you see it?
Yes, I see it.
This part up here.
Magic card.
Yeah.
Is that a mint?
Yeah. It's a mint first printing Snatch Steal.
Bro, how much
Out
did
of Magic Ruler.
How much did you pay?
Huh?
How much did you pay?
Like 60.
60.
Yeah, like 60.
Why? Why do you do that?
Yeah, because it's an insane card. Snatch Steal is nuts. And I wanted to have one that said magic card because those are very rare.
Aren't they getting a reprint in the 25th anniversary anyway? That says Magic Card.
Yeah. No, they don't. They don't. Because even Magic Ruler got reprinted as Spell Ruler. So that all of the cards say Spell Card. Because just in the very beginning they were called Magic cards. But for reasons, they're now called Spell Cards.
Yeah, but I think in the 25th anniversary reprint they are called Magic Cards again.
I don't think
I'm
so.
pretty sure though.
I'm pretty sure they don't. I am pretty sure they don't.
I'm gonna check after, but I'm pretty sure they do. Because I someone said that. But I don't remember who said that. But yeah, oh my god, I'm gonna skip this
Yeah.
side.
But even then, it's like a first printing. Like those cards don't lose the value. It's also nice, like knowing you have a 25-year-old card.
Sure, could have
It's just history.
could have also bought a lightly played for 20.
Yeah, but why would I?
I don't know, man. I think it's just a better financial investment.
Better financial investment is not buying a Snatch Steal for like that amount of money. But yeah,
That is also true.
I also bought a breaker for 50 euro or something. First printing.
My whole goat deck was like 20. So,
Yeah, that's the point. It's never a good financial investment.
so there's that.
Okay, back to the game. We see a good start with Graceful Charity. Is it Warrior? It should be because I see a Blade Knight.
Yeah, it is Warrior.
It is Warrior.
Yeah,
Okay.
you couldn't even have guessed from the first game. Like I would have played it out just to see what he plays, but since he already knows what he plays, so there's not any point in doing that. Okay,
Yeah.
Rhoda does grab the Don Zaluk. Against Reasoning Gate, I would grab the DD Warrior Lady every day.
Any...
Honestly, I would grab DD Warrior Lady 10 out of 10 times. Oh, he
But what
just
did he
passed
grab?
on an
Sorry, I
empty
was
board.
distracted. Oh, he passed. Yeah. Then you go Don Saluk,
Yeah, then Don Zaluk does make sense.
which is also not that good against Reasoning Gate. It's so stupid, but like Don Saluk and Delinquent both are not that good against Reasoning Gate.
Well, they just need one card to destroy you. They just play Reasoning Gate and that's it.
Yeah, and if this card is not reasoning, doesn't matter all that much. Like as long as you don't hit their reasonings and their monster gates, they don't really care what you hit in their hand.
Yeah.
Oh, you have to. Yeah, you have to.
Yeah, but that's worth.
That was so worth getting Don Saluk off the field and the Ring of Destruction off the field. That was so worth.
Yeah, definitely.
And now it's an
worth.
empty board. And having an empty board against Reasoning Gate is so scary.
Damn, he could
Because
just.
there is it's a small chance, but there's a chance
He
that
just
you're dead.
he just has 5,200 HP, so there's a very real chance he could just die. But doesn't look like it since he's just setting 2 cards and passing the turn. Yeah, so he's not dead, luckily, but he could have been dead. Warrior also setting 1 card. Okay, Breaker effect. Call of the Haunted. And takes 1/6.
Damn.
And the trap does shoot not that good against Reasoning Gate.
Is there... Nah, not that good against Reasoning Gate. Their monsters are most of the time bricks. Like, he probably is... I at least see Reasoning Gate, Monster Gate.
Then,
Did he had a Reasoning?
no, He didn't have. He just had Monster Gate,
No, he
Foolish
didn't.
Barrel, and
Okay,
Metamorphosis. Those are the 3 cards. But for Monster Gate, he would need to tribute 1 monster, and he doesn't have a monster to tribute right now. And
Yeah. So it's good to get back the 1 monster that he has. But instead, it's Warrior.
yeah, he did.
Like, you cannot play that much tempo with Warrior.
And here the cam
And
fell
there
down.
goes the camera.
The cam just fell. I think I had to come and fix the cam. Yeah. I had to get up from my game to get this camera working again.
I'm glad you did, because their attempt of doing it looked pretty miserable.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Wouldn't have been that enjoyable of a game. Honestly, what do I order for food?
What do you?
I have no idea.
Yeah, it's 9 p.m. Does
Yeah.
anything even deliver? Like you have like
Yeah,
5
yeah.
options, yeah. You have like kebab.
No, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. There are plenty of restaurants open, but I'm thinking about the kebab pizza,
I also ate kebab
but I
pizza
can't
today.
get one. It's so good, but I can't get one with sauce. There's pizza kebab. I don't know. It's just pizza kebab. Do you rely on them having sauce on it? Oh, yeah, you can buy sauce with that. I already know what I'm eating. So, back to the game. But that did not look too good for Reasoning Gate until now.
Yeah, but
If
they
this hit is good,
Monster Gate
if this hit is good,
Monster Gate on basically an empty board. If this hits the Black Magician, this game is straight up
yeah,
over.
if that hits the Black Magician.
Ooh, also a good hit.
Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad.
But he still has a Metamorphosis, and I think that is a Torrential? Is that a Torrential?
I couldn't really see, but it is. They don't play a lot of traps, so it's possible. It's also, if it's a trap card, it could also be Royal Decree, because I know that Reasoning Gate likes to play Royal Decree.
Nah, that is a Torrential. What is that card that he summoned? With the Monster Gate. What is the name?
I don't know what it's called, but it's like one of those that just flip coins and then destroy something like that.
Oh, it's
I
the
think it's one of those monsters.
the triple flip coin dragon or whatever.
Yeah, something along those lines.
Or quad barrel dragon. Okay, here he activates the effect and destroys it, yeah. First try. Also smart to put 2 tokens on top of your deck to indicate the man, I don't know card names today.
Reckless Greed.
Reckless Greed, yes. To
Yeah, I
indicate-
was thinking the same thing. It's pretty good, because if you want to grab there and draw, worst case you draw a token and are like, yeah, I'm under Reckless Greed.
Yeah, same thing with Sinister Serpent. I always put Sinister Serpent on top of my deck just so I can, just so I don't forget the Sinister Serpent effect, because I'm a serial Sinister Serpent forgetter. So he just torrentials the Mebius. Interesting that he
Yeah,
even
and there
plays.
goes the second one. I have to say, those are techniques that you only learn when you're playing this game for a very, very long time.
What?
And this national champion here is playing this game for quite some time.
What technique? The Sinister Serpent not forgetting and
No, the Reckless Greed not forgetting.
ah.
Like, how do you come up with this idea if you haven't played like Reckless Greed, which hasn't been good for like 15 years?
Yeah, maybe if you played Reckless Greed back in the day, so now you know. But
Yeah,
yeah,
and I mean, he at least, because from what we know, he played during Edison format. So he has at least 13 years of knowledge of this game.
yeah. But also, yeah, it picks up his cards. So he won game 2. And we are just gonna hop straight into game
Now
3.
it comes back to the. Now here's the question. Here's the big question. Is this warrior player respecting Reasoning Gate in his side deck? Because if he is, and if he gets the right cards, this could be a very quick game.
What are your side deck choices against Reasoning Gate?
A card that is pretty sick is Jaugen.
Oh yeah, Jogan, yo. Jogan is sick.
That just says you don't special summon anymore, but a way better card that sometimes just FTKs the deck is Spell Canceller.
Yeah, it is a 1 tribute card. So you need 1 tribute for it, but
Yeah, but you can make that in depending on whatever deck you play, you can definitely do that. And if you can do that first turn, it's nuts. Reasoning Gate does not come back from that.
yeah, if you go special summon something, normal summon Spell Canceller, you just won the game on the spot.
Yeah.
Unless they have any spell and trap outsided specifically against Spell Canceller, which is quite rare. Also, it is quite rare for you to draw Spell Canceller.
I mean, yeah, it is.
But
But
I do-
you know, you don't need to do that during your first turn. Most of the time, you have like 2 or 3 turns.
Yeah, but I do see, yeah, he played instantly drops the Reasoning Gate here. Or the Reasoning here. And what, for our viewers back at home, tell them which level should they always call?
Always 8. You always call 8.
And why is that?
Because if you don't call 8, they hit their magician, and the magician is busted, so you always call 8.
Yeah, because
Except you have seen the magician somewhere else.
yeah, now they mill the whole deck, pretty much, just to see 1 card. Yeah, there's the magician. He did not call 8.
He didn't call 8! Now you see why you always call 8. This torrential doesn't even matter, because this magician is gonna bring back Diffusion if he wants to. It is banished, so now you can activate Diffusion and bring back the magician again for another spell. That's the reason you never call anything else except for 8. Because look at this grave. He can pick any spell he wants.
Yeah, what did you pick here? I think you pick another Reasoning. Maybe the
You
delinquent.
can.
Maybe the delinquent, but
It depends. He did not hit. Did he hit a Diffusion? He did not hit a Diffusion.
and you can't foolish back the Chaos Sorcerer, right?
No, it gets banished if it leaves the field.
No, the Chaos Sorcerer, not the Chaos Magician. You can't
Oh, you mean
special.
Chaos? No. You need to special summon him first.
Yeah. So it's either Reasoning Gate and he took the Delinquent. Delinquent is a good choice. I think Delinquent is also a good choice.
Delinquent is a good choice. Delinquent is a good choice.
If you have like a Monster Gate or something in hand, he has a Mind Control. And yeah, discarding
Here
2
comes
cards.
down the Delinquent. And this Delinquent will hurt. Delinquent against Warrior always hurts, but now it really hurts. Because Reasoning Gate gets to play and you lose 2 cards.
Also, he has a Jar of Greed in hand, I think. Is that a Jar of Greed? Yes, it is a Jar of Greed.
That is a Jar of Greed.
Jar of Greed, Scapegoat, Monster, and Mind Control.
So this is probably gonna be, Scapegoat and Jar of Greed. He's thinking about setting those 2, and he sets those 2, which is pretty good. Your opponent cannot do it against anything of those 2 cards. Like, no Heavy Storm wins this, no MST wins this, just nothing wins this.
Yeah, would you have went for the Reasoning Gate again?
I'm not sure. Because this is turning into a more grindy game. I think taking the Reasoning here and losing another half of your deck is risky.
Yeah, now he drew the
Especially
Metamorph.
because now he has it. He has Metamorph and Scapegoat. So he does not need to push. Yeah, and there comes the Scapegoat.
I don't know what the third set
It's
card
not
is.
really.
Okay,
There's the Scapegoat.
There's the Scapegoat.
Now we're left with 3 Scapegoats. We have a Metamorph, which will just steal this card and put on a big problem, which will not be easy to out. I don't think the Warrior player has another card in hand.
To draft grid. Yeah, this game feels unwinnable.
Yeah, this game, how will you out the Thousand Eyes Restrict? Especially because you have to out it before your opponent sees the Diffusion, because now it is stalling until you see Diffusion.
He judgments
Ooh,
that.
Judgment.
Ooh.
He judgments. I think he has a second one. I think I saw 2.
Nah, I don't think so.
Oh, no, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. No.
Yeah, he says go.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like he
So
has
pretty good judgment.
Heavy Storm.
Let's save one turn. Now there is Heavy Storm. Now it is a different game. It now depends what he has. Reckless Greed.
Yeah, but this resolves the chain and the second one gets destroyed. Okay, this was just Call of the Haunted. But Call of the Haunted wouldn't.
That was just a Call of the 100. That's not so bad to lose.
And also he has a
And now the
Reasonate.
Scapegoats are doing what they have to do. They're just stalling so good.
Yeah, he also has a Reasoning Gate in hand.
What now? A Monster Gate or a
A
Reasoning?
Reasoning. A Reasoning. Oh
A
my.
Reasoning, a Reasoning.
I'm calling it Reasoning Gate. No, it's Reasoning. He has a Reasoning in hand. He has a Reasoning in Gate. It's been a long day.
Now here's the funny thing. You see the Magician banished, so what do you call now if he activates Reasoning? So what do you call?
Probably still. What level is the dragon? 8, right? Or 9?
Which one?
This one. It's 6.
This one is 6,
Yeah,
yeah.
so I would go
Because
6.
I am between either calling 6 or 4.
Yes.
Because they play, I think, 3 of the birds. So hitting that is pretty likely. Or you call 6 just in the off chance that he plays Jinzo. Because if he hits Jinzo against your warrior deck, yeah, it's over. It's so hard to out.
So at this spot, this is why I don't like Reasoning Gate. In this spot, other decks could have already won if you were in this spot. But Reasoning Gate kinda struggles to put on the pressure right now. Because he called right with Reasoning Gate, and now he doesn't. You just don't do anything. Like you're just waiting. To draw a card that
Ooh, that was the classic. That was the classic fake. Oh, I love that. The classic Heavy Storm fake. Setting Heavy Storm so your opponent thinks, he has back row, so I can now set my back row.
he's still passing on nothing. He got the Chaos Sorcerer out and got back his spell, but he still doesn't have any pressure. So it feels like he's on the back foot, even though he has more cards.
Yeah.
And he did.
Yeah, it really feels like it. But here's the thing, okay? Here's the thing. He is playing Reasoning Gate. He has a Magician banished. There comes the Scapegoat. This is at least stalling 2 turns. If there's not another Judgment. If he gets the Diffusion, next turn, this is a completely different game. He can plus out so much, but he does not get it.
Some brain control. Does he like double OTK? because that's all he can
Probably
do.
double kills. Probably double kills. Double kill, he has a Jar of Greed, so that's gonna go down. And what was the last cut? Oh, he just has the Phoenix. So he could try and go for a bit of damage.
Yeah, but most of his deck is already
I don't know.
engraved.
This looks like a pretty standard reasoning gate. Duel where the reasoning gate does not pop off. So that's pretty standard for them not popping off. The only difference is he is lucky enough to play against Warrior, which cannot kill pretty easily or like pretty quickly. Because if that would have been against the Chaos deck, he would have been dead like 2 turns ago.
Yeah, Chaos is pretty represented at this locals.
Yeah, but I think that's why we see Warrior in top 4 now. Because still, half of the people play Chaos. Even if there are a lot of rogue decks, half of the people play Chaos. And if you get lucky in like 3 rounds and just play against Chaos, pretty good chance that you top.
Oh,
Oh, this tribe hurts. This tribe hurts.
Do you know how much attack the bird has? I think 1-4.
I think even 1/6.
1-6. Maybe.
I think it even has 1/6.
Oh, he snatch steals the bird.
So the bird has
And he drew another bird.
1/6, yeah. Oh man, this is not looking good.
Yeah, he had such an insane turn with an empty board.
Yeah.
And now
But he got unlucky with the second reasoning.
what does he do here? Run into the say double chaos. So it has 1-6.
Yeah, kill the tribe. Yeah, I just checked it. Yeah, it has 1/6.
And he
Getting the tribe off the field is good.
gets
So here is a little bit of a problem. Like they don't play any cards to protect them. There's BLS. Is it BLS? That is BLS.
that is BLS. Yeah, Warrior has a lot of spot removers, so BLS isn't that big of a deal.
It doesn't matter. He doesn't die this turn. He does not die this turn. Oh.
Is that a Chaos
Wait,
Sorcerer?
does he actually have another? He has another Chaos Orc.
So no cards in hand from either player. And a Chaos Sorcerer on field. Drew the Judgment. I think that is GG. Do we get a handshake as well?
No, we don't.
No handshakes.
But we get a good end to. We get a good end. Like getting BLS Chaos Orc. That's what you need to come back into this game. What a nice match. What a nice match. I always love to see someone who knows how to play Reasoning Gate play Reasoning Gate. It's just very enjoyable to watch.
Yeah, so we are moving on to the finals. So he's explaining combos or something. I don't know. I'm just skipping. Oh, this is too far.
Yeah, you skipped the first whole game.
Alright, here we go. Finals of the Boomer Goat tournament. We are playing, I think Chaos Control against Reasoning Gate.
This is Chaos Control against Reasoning Gate.
Who has an advantage? Do you think Chaos Control is like Chaos Turbo is better or Chaos Control is better against Reasoning Gate?
I would say I think Chaos Control is better against Reasoning Gate. just because like Scapegoat prevents you from killing him through a card like Heavy Trunade or Giant Trunade. I think like Relinquished negates his deck for like 1 or 2 turns until he finds a way to out it. So I think Chaos Control has more to offer against Reasoning Gate.
Well, we will see how well they perform here. But a Graceful Charity is definitely a good way to start this game. I can tell you that much. And your opponent just set 1 card and passed the turn. That is all he did.
Was he set 2?
And also passed here.
And pass. I'm curious. I'm curious if he still plays the Royal Decree or not.
Yeah, I see a Crossart in hand. I think Crossart is kind of dead in this matchup.
Crossart is completely dead in this matchup.
So you never want to see Crossart. So this is Crossart, Sinister Metamorphosis. What else? Oh, a Reaper.
Spirit Reaper. Oh, Reaper. Reaper is insane against Reasoning Gate. But there's another Scapegoat. I have to say, I really love Scapegoat, but at the same time, I really hate Scapegoat.
Yeah, same. You think like
I love when
you think you can finally
sometimes
attack?
when you play against them. Yeah, and it's not that. Like sometimes they just stay for like 2 or 3 turns.
Yeah, it
Until
takes
you
forever.
finally outed all of the Scapegoat tokens.
Yeah, it is so dangerous to just leave them on the field. So you feel like you have to out them.
Yeah.
Since if he drops a Metamorphosis, you sit there with nothing.
Or a Monster Gate.
Yeah.
Or a Monster Gate.
Or a Monster Gate.
Ooh, and he cannot call, so this can always hit Magician.
So this could be the end of the game right here. This could literally be the end.
That could be the end of the game.
Oh,
Depending on what he... Oh!
Cyberstein is a good hit.
Hits the Cyberstein. Ooh.
What does he get with Cyberstein? Probably the guy you can't target. The dragon guy.
I don't know. I'm not a fan of him. Because you
Another
cannot target
one. Another monster.
Another one.
2 monster gates.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Ooh, Parshev. Ooh.
Do you see
Yeah.
like a reasoning in
Yeah,
hand?
still
Is that-
4 cards in hand. He still has 4 cards. I think that's a brain control. So he even outs the Reaper here. If I wasn't mistaken, I think I saw a brain control.
Oh my god, this turn is crazy. Yo, what is going on? This turn is actually nuts. So Cyberstein here?
Cyberstein.
What,
Ooh,
what does this guy
that's the
do?
big koala. The master of Oz.
Oh yeah, he locks.
Nothing. He has over 3,000 attack.
Tribute summon.
No, that's the Ojama guy you're thinking of.
What is the tribute summon? For what? The glare is terrible.
Is that game?
Yeah,
Is it
it's
game
just game,
already?
yo. It's just OTK.
Yeah, it's game already. Oh!
Just OTK'd him.
You were feeling so great when you flipped that Spirit Reaper to attack. Oh no, isn't it? Yeah, it is game. It is game. Yeah, he's just showing him his hand.
Holy.
But even if you don't OTK here, like that's the problem. How do you out this Reasoning Gate board?
You don't. Legit. You could
No, you don't. Not in one turn.
I mean, you could go like BLS. I don't know. Maybe something like Mirror Force, Torrential.
Yeah, but the Parshev was also drawing a card here.
Yeah, obviously you are in a terrible position. But this turn was crazy.
Yeah. This turn was insane. Yeah, this turn was insane.
But here
We're gonna
is
go for a game 2. Now the side deck comes in, so he can actually use stuff from his side deck. And he opted to go for Mind Control. This is definitely a card that came in from the side deck.
what do you mind control? You just mind control a monster to out one of his other monsters? Is that why you play mind control?
No, you can't.
You can't attack with
cannot
mind.
attack.
Yeah.
You cannot attack. You cannot attack. No. You can steal like a BLS, banish itself. Can do stuff like that. I think it's like he probably does not have anything better in his side deck, but there are definitely cards in the main deck that he needs to get out. So I think that's why we see a mind control here.
Yeah, Heavy Storm would also suck. So Pot of
A
Greeds.
pot. Yeah, and they even play more than that. They most of them play like 3 giant Trunade in the main deck. So back row is not really what saves you against Reasoning Gate.
Yeah, but what does save you against Reasoning Gate? Then bricking.
Yeah, hoping he does not go insane, which is pretty good because a lot of times they don't go completely insane and then you just win with your Chaos deck. But it's definitely a very hard deck to play against and to stop. Just because turns like the one we saw last game just can happen against this deck.
Yeah, man. Like, this was a Reasoning Gate turn if I've ever seen one. Monster Gate into Tribute Summon OTKU. Actually nuts. I did not think I would ever see Reasoning Gate OTK, but I guess that is. So if anyone ever says to you Goat is like a slow format where you can stall out, hell no. Hell no, you still get OTK.
Now, Reasoning Gate is definitely a combo deck of the like you would see in current matter. Definitely not the same power level, but it plays pretty similarly to a combo deck nowadays.
Yeah. The only difference is combo decks nowadays, they have protection. This deck does not have protection. Barely. So everything that you summon.
This deck, it can have like Dark Bolter protecting from spells is pretty good. You have the Rio Senshi that protects from traps. So if you can make those, this deck can protect itself.
Yeah, but that is...
And like if you have ever sit on the other side of a Rio Ascension and the Dark Bolter being on the field at the same time, negating all spells and all traps, also none of them can target them, is nuts.
But that also requires a lot of setup and the right cards.
Yeah, and the right cards. You need a Cyberstein and hit something with your reasoning that you can metamorph into one of those guys.
So he blind MSTs.
Blind MSTs. He wants to get this back row. Because I think he's just holding his good cards and he's holding his plays.
What is his second set? Oh, a Scapegoat. Does he go for a Scapegoat Metamorph here? On an empty board?
I would much more believe he's
I think he
going
just drew a
Scapegoat
Monster Gate
here.
Yeah.
Scapegoat Monster Gate. Now he had that. He was just waiting what his back row was, but he didn't really get his back row way. Oh, hitting a Parshav. That is good. That will force a back row. So he has to use one of his back row here. He doesn't. He lets the Parshav connect.
And draw one. And he drew a Metamorph.
Draw a Metamorph. This Metamorph is big. It is big because if he summons something big, he can just go Relinquished. If he doesn't, he can just go Dark Bolter next turn.
Does Mind Control say can't be tributed or can't be tributed for a monster?
Can't be tributed. You cannot metamorph something you steal with Mind Control.
Okay.
Yeah. And there's the Chaos Orc. There's the Chaos Orc. There will be a big banish, banish like a banish next turn. Yeah, he
Yeah.
just goes metamorph one of his scapegoat tokens and then steals the Chaos Orc. This was good. This was very good to hold your metamorph here.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't metamorph onto an empty board, or you wouldn't metamorph a relinquish
Yeah, you could
alternative.
you could metamorph the Parshev
Maybe, yeah, you could.
because it's 5, so it makes Dark Bolter, so you cannot use any spells.
Yeah,
But you
but
can also do that next turn once your opponent commits to anything.
but you know that Chaos doesn't really play spells. That a lot of spells that out your monsters. They more so play
Oh
traps.
yeah,
More
they
scatter.
do. No, they do. They definitely do. The Dark Bolter is so bad for Chaos. Like all of your good cards, obviously, like Upstart, Pot of Greed, Graceful, just get negated. But you cannot use Snatch Steal.
And
Um, let me think. I mean, you cannot use Mind Control. You cannot use Snatch Steal.
you don't
What
know
are the
about the
other
mind
spells? You cannot
controls.
use Book. Yeah, but
Yeah.
you know that they are in the side deck. I just say Dark Bolter is not the easiest card to out, especially for Chaos because you play such a low trap count. Like, what traps do you play that outed? Torrential, Mirror Force, and
Raigeki
then
break.
2 Raigeki Break or 2 Wing Blast. You have 4 cards to out it.
But your monsters do go nuts. So Chaos Sword can just banish you.
Yeah, if you have a Chaos monster, yeah, it can go nuts.
See, ooh, Dimension.
Ooh.
Dimension bring back Dark Balthor, pay 2k. I think you have to bring back.
Yeah.
Yeah, here he
Just a
definitely.
second. Yeah. Hello? Hello?
This guy cannot mute his Discord. Oh, his food just arrived. His food just arrived. And
Okay.
so he did out the Parshak again on attack. But now they're kind of both low on. They are both very low on resources.
They're both very low on resources,
I
yeah.
think he still has the Metamorph in hand. No, he doesn't. Never mind. I lied. But he does have. Does he have second Chaos Sorcerer? Because Chaos.
Yeah, there is a Chaos Sorcerer.
Is that a Cyberstein?
Is that a Cyberstein? That should be a Cyberstein, yeah. Because what else would he use that pays life? That's a Cyberstein. And this is probably bringing out something big to out the Chaos Orc.
I don't know if it even brings out something big because he does have a Chaos Orc of his own in the hand. So he has a second Chaos Orc live. So he could just summon it. So maybe he's just going
Yeah,
for
but there's still a
protection.
back row.
Yeah, so he's going for
There
protection
is
first.
still a back row.
So he's first.
He's either going for protection or you go for something, attack over Chaos Orc, force the back row, and then go Chaos Orc. I think what I want to do here is get the Relinquished out, steal the Chaos Orc, probably force the back row. He
Yeah,
doesn't.
This is no, this is the guy you can't target dragons.
Yeah, that's the King Dragoon, yeah.
Yeah, that is the King Dragoon.
But I don't know why he's going for it.
Oh, it's just game.
Oh, because it's game. Oh, it's just game.
It's just game. Okay, so Reasoning Gate
Okay,
takes
yeah,
the
that
tournament.
makes sense. That makes sense.
Reasoning
Reasoning Gate taking the tournament, taking his final 2-0. Wow.
just straight 2-0. So no chance here from our Chaos player. Yeah, no, that was just game. I didn't expect it to be game, but that's
No, I also I was like thinking, what would we do here? But yeah, apparently that's just game.
so it's 2100 damage. So that is a lot of damage on the Magician of Faith with the dragon. So damn, that is crazy. That is hella damage. But yeah, that was the GOAT Boomer GOAT tournament number 3. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. It was a lot of fun commentating. What was your favorite match?
I think like the last one.
Yeah, I think also the last
Or was it this final match, or was it the top 4 match where Reasoning Gate just went completely nuts?
Yeah, I don't know. The one where Reasoning Gate went completely nuts was definitely my favorite match.
Yeah, that was
They
the most
just
enjoyable match.
they
of
just
all time.
went, oh, empty board or guess some OTK you, and then they just did
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
good memes, good memes. Yeah, with that we will sign off. We'll see you guys in the next GOAT tournament, which will be in like a month, I think. So we do this once
Yeah,
a month.
probably a month.
Yeah, probably like 2 to 3 weeks. Then there's gonna be the next one. So we will see you guys then. I hope you enjoyed the content. This is going up on YouTube as well. So if you